Welcome to Adventures. My name's Goose.
I'm Terry now.
And I'm just going to go over a quick thing with 3D modeling. A friend of mine asked how to rig mouths. So I'm going to do my best to try and clarify some of that stuff and go over how I generally set it up, but I'm generally doing like low poly stuff. And for higher poly stuff, you mostly just make it smoother, and most of the internal stuff isn't going to be really anybody's concern unless you're doing very specific modeling, but I'm just going to do my best to go over how to model and rig a mouth. So this. I have a little internal chamber, and I don't really care how it looks because it's never really going to be seen in too high a quality. I'm just going to, get it right up here, close to the front piece of this face I've made, and then I'm going to match it up. So I'm just going to seal in faces. I'm just going to add, just going to click on these points and then add faces between them. And generally make sure your inside cavity has the same number of like vertices around that edge that your mouth does, so that when you match up the faces, every face has a set of vertices to match to, like that. And I'm not going to model the teeth, mostly because that's going to take time, but you just model them so that they match up with the line of the mouth right there. So the top teeth line up with the bottom teeth right there. And then the tongue, which just sticks in the back. And you just use that for positioning for specific words if you're going that in-depth with your talking animations. But you don't really have to if you're doing low-poly game stuff. As far as rigging goes, after you've got your little cavity and you've got all the stuff set up, you have your face, and you just set up the bones to rig it. So with a mouth specifically, generally how it's rigged is, well, here, I'll go over that. We are going to add an armature single bone. And then we're going to, I forget how to do this. There we go. Just put those in front so you can always see them. Now generally your head rig has a neck point and the head pivots around that end neck point. So I'm going to do that. Just grab it, move it back. Extrude this out. And this is going to be your... So this is the bone for the whole head. This is the neck to show pivoting. This is the bone for the whole head. And then you have another one. Oh God. How do I disconnect? Oh, I forgot how to do it. The memento. Oh wait, that's how. Yep. So it's connected to the same point now, and this is your bottom jaw. So you just line it up roughly with where the pivot point for the jaw is. So if you feel on your jaw, it actually lines up right around here-ish. It's with the cheek. So that curvature of your jaw that goes right up here is where you want to line this up, so that if you're moving this part and it's linked to this entire bottom section, it moves that whole jaw. So I'm actually going to rig that first and then go over the individual positioning for the lips. Alright, welcome back. So, I already did the head bone all the way around. It's got all this and the internals. It's got that all rigged up. So, the head moves all of it. Now it's just a matter of rigging the jaw. Because basically you want the head to move and the jaw to move separately. That's, yes. This means, of course, this is one of the things about rigging heads that's different from bodies is generally when you rig a body, a lot of the parts don't cross over with each other. Meaning if you rig like an arm, you're not going to have multiple bones controlling the fingers. You just have finger bones. But with a face, you've got a lot of stuff that is controlled by a lot of different parts of... Can you work of the rig. So the entire jaw has to move with the head, but also the bottom jaw has to move separately because it's the talky bit. So it has to talk while the head is moving. Oh my god, why? Why do you not work with me? What? No, go away. And of course that also means, so that's the big thing about this is the pain in the butt about it is the mouth, the inside, the mouth, not just the regular stuff. With the mouth, you have to get the bottom of the mouth with the bottom of the mouth with the bottom jaw, so that when it talks, it opens the lips and the mouth. I was just clearing that out because, Jesus Christ. It also helps to go into wireframe so you can see all the connecting points, because that's the thing. I should have opened this mouth more because I need this to hit all the bottom lip points and not the top ones. See, like that. And then you rig all these lip points to separate. And that's probably a flaw in my design, but we'll see what happens. To get inflection and get expression, you need to rig all this stuff separately as well. This also doesn't help that it's low poly, but it should still function because faces deform as they speak anyway. So, like that whole section, that should be what moves with your bottom jaw to talk, and then you get the bottom of the mouth. Let me get in there. Let me get in here. All right. And the big trick with this is you don't want the whole mouth. You definitely don't want the whole mouth. You just want this bottom jaw. Or the bottom section of the mouth. Jesus Christ. And I know there's a way to hide the vertices. I just can't think of it now. It helps to have stuff mirrored because most of the face's bone setup is going to be symmetrical on both sides. Jesus Christ, I can't get a good view of this. It's an example. There you go. Go back to object, get out of wireframe, and pose, and then excuse me? Why is my pose not working now? What the hell? I'll be back. What? Love you too. Ah, there we go. Welcome back. Okay, that's a bad angle. Oh, rotate Y. So, let me actually... Jesus Christ, where do I put this away? God, it's been a while since I've done rigs. There. And that does shit. But anyway, now you get speaking. And see that right there? That's why it's important to rig your mouth properly. The inside of the mouth is important because you'll get stuff like that. But that's generally how you do it. You just paint the bottom jaw so that as you rotate, it speaks. Because that's how jaws work. They rotate on a hinge on both sides. So that's beautiful. If you just paint the right parts, it'll move with it. I think a big part of this is I need to move that top part of the mouth back. Or just lower it. But this is part of the mesh design. You got to know where your vertices go. And then from there, to add more to that, rig your top lip pieces as children of the head bone. You want to rig 5 top mouth bones, one in the middle, one right there at the upturn of the lip, and then one at each corner of the mouth for the smiling and all that. And rig those to the head because they should move with this as the head pivots. But everything on the bottom lip should be rigged to the bottom jaw. So that as the mouth opens and closes, those 5 points can move around. You can make them frown. You could puff out their lip and pull it like this. Oh, that under or over bite doesn't help anything. Wait. Yeah, that stuff happening with the nose. That's automatic weights for you. That stuff right there. Yeah, always make sure you go through and double check your weights because they will fuck you. But that's generally how you do lips. You just rig the 5 points and there you go. Rig the head to one bone, rig the bottom jaw to the other, and then rig, in all it's 8 points. 6 in the middle, the 2 corners of the lips, and then that gives you full range of motion for all of the dynamic expressions you'd want to make. I'm sure there's more extreme rigs, but that's the basic one. And then with eyelids, it's generally the same thing. Usually you'll have one big bone in the middle for the eyebrow, and then bones on each corner to allow for more expression. And with eyelids, it's usually 1 bone, but there can be 3. You can have, and the eyelids are completely separate. You don't rig those at the ends like mouths. You make sure it's 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, so that they can close, and also you can get the scrunching of winks from the edges and stuff. But that's generally how it's done. So I hope that helps, and if I need to go more in depth, I happily will at some later point because it's late. Feral Adventures!